Tuesday's episode of DOOL, a whirlwind of emotion, suspense, and heartbreak as the residents of Salem are thrown into chaos once more. Let's dive into what transpired in this gripping episode and uncover the emotional depth behind every twist and turn. Holly's desperate search for Doug. A young girl's fear grows for Holly Jonas. The day takes a devastating turn as she realizes that Doug Williams III has gone missing. Ashley Puzimis delivers a moving performance as Holly spirals into a state of worry, confusion, and rising fear. Her concern isn't unwarranted. Doug has vanished without so much as a word, and Holly is left clutching at fading clues in her desperate attempt to track him down. Doug, portrayed by Peyton Meyer, is clearly troubled. Struggling with emotional turmoil that he hasn't shared with Holly or anyone else, Doug takes matters into his own hands, turning to the internet in search of homeless shelters. It's a haunting and heartbreaking move that signals just how far gone he feels. His disappearance isn't just a sudden whim, it's a silent scream for help, and yet Doug refuses to let Holly carry the burden of his troubles. Complicating matters, Doug is being pursued again by the same thugs who harassed him earlier over money. Whether it's gambling debts, owed favors, or something darker, these men are back, and Doug is caught in a dangerous game of hide and seek. In a protective but misguided move, Doug distances himself from Holly, not realizing that his silence is doing more harm than good. For Holly, Doug is more than a friend. He's a connection to safety, understanding, and love. Watching him slip away and feeling powerless to stop it may be one of the most painful experiences she's ever faced. Sean and Steve's high-stakes gamble, fighting for Bo's life while Holly is on her mission to find Doug. Another mission is underway elsewhere in Salem, one that involves risking everything to save Bo Brady. Sean Brady, portrayed by Brandon Beamer, is deep in planning with Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, and their goal is clear. They must obtain the drugs Bo desperately needs to survive. The tension is palpable as Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, steps in with a crucial assist. She doesn't just offer emotional support, she brings tangible tools for their rescue mission. Armed with lab blueprints and detailed security codes, Steve and Sean prepare to carry out what appears to be an illegal break-in. The stakes? Nothing less than Bo's life. As the men pore over the plans, making hopeful predictions and building each other's confidence, it's clear that this is more than a mission, it's a testament to friendship, family, and love. Their willingness to break the law, risk prison, and potentially destroy their own reputations reveals the depths of their devotion to Bo. But this isn't just a story about heroism, it's a story about desperation. Because when the law stands in the way of saving someone you love, how far would you go? For Steve and Sean, the answer is clear: as far as it takes. Gabby's breakdown, the aftershocks of love and loss elsewhere in Salem. Gabby Hernandez, portrayed by Sherry Jimenez, finds herself at the center of an emotional storm. The cause of her devastation isn't immediately clear. Could it be another vicious verbal exchange with Leo Stark? Or is it something even more complicated involving Philip Kiriakis? What we do know is that Gabby is crumbling. Her breakdown isn't quiet or composed. It's raw, unfiltered, and painfully human. Whether she's reeling from a betrayal, a secret revealed, or simply the unbearable weight of her circumstances, Gabby's emotional unraveling adds another layer of intensity to an already explosive episode. Gabby has always been a fighter, but even the strongest have their limits. And on this day, Gabby may have finally hit hers. Sophia's isolation and Tate's devotion. A teen's silent struggle for Sophia Choi, played by Rachel Boyd. This was supposed to be a season of joy, laughter, and memory-making. Her senior year, her last chance to enjoy high school before adulthood changes everything, has taken a sharp and unexpected turn. Ordered on bed rest due to pregnancy complications, Sophia is sidelined from all the excitement. No prom, no birthday party, no laughter with friends under sparkling lights. What should have been a time of celebration has become a period of quiet suffering. Tate Black, Leo Howard, however, refuses to let Sophia fall into despair. Stepping up with a maturity beyond his years, Tate joins Sophia on her emotional journey, not just as a friend, but as someone who genuinely cares for her well-being. The prom might be out of the question, but Tate begins planning a special moment just for her. Whether it's a private birthday celebration or a makeshift dance in her room, Tate is determined to show Sophia that she's not alone. But this mission is complicated. Sophia, fueled by her own need for normalcy, may begin to consider ignoring her doctor's orders. The temptation to attend prom, just for a night, looms large. If Sophia makes that choice, she could put herself and her baby in serious danger. Tate finds himself at a crossroads. Should he support her wish to live fully in the moment, or persuade her to prioritize her health and their future? It's a delicate balancing act, one that demands sensitivity, compassion, and resolve. Final thoughts. When lives hang in the balance, the May 6th episode of Days of Our Lives doesn't just move storylines forward. It shakes the emotional core of Salem. From Holly's terrifying search to Gabby's breakdown, from Steve and Sean's high-risk operation to Tate's quiet heroism, the episode reminds us of the power of love, loyalty, and sacrifice. Next, Days of Our Lives recap for Monday, May 5th, 2025. Family feuds, shattered trust, and unspoken fears rock Salem. Salem is no stranger to high drama. But Monday's episode of Days of Our Lives took emotional intensity to another level. The DiMera mansion once again became the epicenter of heartbreak, confrontation, and the unraveling of delicate relationships. What began as a quiet moment of reflection for E.J. DiMera quickly escalated into a day of emotional reckonings, heartfelt confessions, and suspicious confrontations. Let's walk through this compelling episode, peeling back each layer to better understand the turmoil and tension tearing through the lives of E.J., Johnny, Chanel, Marina, and Chad. For longtime fans, this episode will strike a chord. It's a reminder that even the strongest families can be torn apart by secrets, regrets, and miscommunications. A father's guilt, E.J.'s painful reflection. The episode opens on a somber note with E.J. DiMera, played by Dan Feuerriegel, sitting alone in the dimly lit DiMera living room. His expression is one of anguish, and as he gazes at a photo of himself with his son Johnny, the emotional weight of the past few days hangs heavily over him. Memories from the night of the shooting flash through his mind. Haunting, fragmented, and filled with uncertainty. E.J. is not just a man recovering from a traumatic event. He is a father burdened with guilt and confusion. He's grasping for answers, trying to understand how things spiraled so far out of control. But his moment of solitude is shattered when the front door bursts open. Chanel's fury unleashed. Chanel Dupree DiMera storms into the mansion like a force of nature. Played with fiery passion by Raven Bowens, Chanel is not here for pleasantries. "What is wrong with you?" she demands, her voice cutting through the silence like a knife. The air practically crackles with tension as she unleashes her fury on E.J., accusing him once again of destroying their plans to adopt and of derailing Johnny's life. E.J. tries to speak, he stammers out apologies, expresses regret, but Chanel isn't having it. Her eyes are filled with tears and her words drip with venom. "You stole that joy and that light from him," she snaps, "and I will never stop hating you for it." It's a brutal moment, one that leaves E.J. visibly shaken. But Chanel isn't done. She tells E.J. about Johnny's identity crisis, that his world has been turned upside down, that he no longer knows who he is or what he stands for, all because of E.J.'s actions. As she turns to leave, another emotional confrontation awaits. Marina offers perspective and support just as Chanel is about to storm out. She runs into Marlena Evans, Johnny's grandmother and a guiding light in many Salem crises. Marlena gently halts Chanel, urging her to pause and listen. With her usual calm authority, Marlena shares that Johnny is devastated. "He's heartbroken for hurting you," she says, "and he loves you very much." Chanel softens, if only for a moment. Her love for Johnny is still there, burning quietly beneath her anger. But the pain he's caused her, his betrayal in breaking their bond, feels insurmountable. She admits to loving him but can't ignore the heartbreak. The emotional tug-of-war inside her is plain to see. E.J.'s vulnerability with Marlena after Chanel leaves. Marlena enters the living room and finds E.J. in tears, still clutching the photograph. He confides in her about the confrontation with Chanel and his deep worry for Johnny. Marlena listens with empathy, but as the conversation unfolds, she grows more direct. When E.J. expresses concern for Johnny's well-being and mentions how different he's been since the shooting, Marlena cuts to the heart of the matter. "Do you think Johnny shot you?" The question lingers in the air like a thundercloud. E.J., shaken, quickly denies it. "Johnny could never do that, not to me, not to anyone," he insists. But even as he speaks, his voice carries the tremor of uncertainty. The very fact that the question had to be asked is a testament to how fractured the DiMera family has become. Marlena gently reminds E.J. that all he can do is be there for Johnny. No matter how lost he feels, no matter what he may or may not have done. E.J. nods, asking her to tell Johnny that he will always love him, that he will always be proud. Marina agrees, promising to deliver that message in the hopes it might reach Johnny's heart. Just as Marina begins to shift the topic, hinting that she wants to talk about EJ's romantic involvement with Belle, the door opens again, and this time it's EJ's brother Chad. Sibling tensions rise. Chad confronts EJ. Chad DiMera enters with a singular purpose: to find out what EJ is up to regarding the charity auction. Specifically, he wants to know why EJ bid on a date with Kat Green, a move that Chad finds suspicious, to say the least. EJ plays it cool. With a smirk, he explains that it's all in the name of philanthropy. He wanted to support the hospital, and bidding on a date with Kat seemed like a fun way to contribute. What's the problem? Chad isn't buying it. He accuses EJ of meddling, perhaps even of trying to manipulate the situation to his advantage. And then EJ drops a question that throws Chad completely off balance. Wait. Are you jealous? EJ's teasing tone hides an undercurrent of real curiosity. He insists he has no romantic interest in Kat. After all, he's committed to Belle. But he wonders if Chad's objections are less about moral outrage and more about personal feelings. Chad fumbles, trying to deny any jealousy, but EJ isn't convinced. He encourages Chad to stop hiding behind excuses and to pursue his own happiness. You deserve it, EJ says, more sincerely than Chad expected. Follow your heart. It's a rare moment of brotherly advice between two men who often find themselves on opposite sides of every conflict. Closing thoughts. Fractured families and fragile hope. This emotionally charged episode of Days of Our Lives reminds viewers that even in a town as tumultuous as Salem, nothing cuts deeper than family. EJ DiMera is a man caught between his past mistakes and his desire to make amends. Chanel is a woman torn between the man she loves and the pain he caused. Marina is the wise matriarch, trying to hold the pieces together. And Chad? He's standing on the edge of a new emotional journey. If only he's brave enough to take the first step. The shadows of doubt, guilt, and resentment linger heavily over this episode, but so too does the possibility of redemption. Will Johnny forgive EJ? Will Chanel and Johnny find their way back to each other? Will Chad confess his feelings for Kat? Only time will tell. But if today's episode taught us anything, it's that in Salem, every relationship is a fragile thread, easily broken, but perhaps, just maybe, mendable with love.